Okay, this is the last video in our series on operations of rational numbers, study guide solutions. Let's go on and answer number 12. Number 12, a builder was building a fence in the morning. He worked for 2/5 of an hour. In the afternoon, he worked for 9/10 of an hour. How many times as long as in the morning did he work in the afternoon? Write a division equation to represent the situation. Well, since 2/5 is less than 9/10, I would do 9/10 divided by 2/5 in order to determine that solution. So 9/10 divided by 2/5 is equivalent to 9/10 times 5/2. Remember, you must multiply by the reciprocal. That means to flip the second fraction. That's going to give us 45 over 20, which then simplifies to 45 divided by 5 is 9/4, which also equals, how many groups of 4? 4.5. So, in the afternoon, he worked 4.5 times as much as he did in the morning. Oh, wait, whoa. Ms. Monster is having a moment. There are 2 groups of 4. Sorry. He worked 2 1/4 as much times as he did in the afternoon than he did in the morning. So it's 2 1/4. Okay. All right, let's go on to our next question. Number 13. After biking 5.5 miles, Jada has traveled 2/3 of the length of her trip. How long a mile is the entire length of her trip? Okay, so if she's saying that she did 2/3 the length of her trip, that means our trip is divided into thirds, 3 groups. And so far, in those 3 groups, she's traveled 2/3, so 2 groups, which represents 5.5 miles. So in order to figure out what that 1/3 is equal to, what one piece, I can now take 5.5 and divide it into those 2 groups. So 5.5 divided by 2 is 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 over 2 times 1/2, which is equal to 11/4, which is also equal to 2 3/4. So that means that each box, each 1/3 is equal to 2 3/4. So this is 2 3/4, 2 3/4, and this is 2 3/4. So now I can determine the total length of my trip by doing 5.5 plus 2 3/4. Or I can take 2 3/4 and multiply it times 3 because there's 3 groups. But I think these are easy fractions that you can go ahead and just add them up together. 5 plus 2 is equal to 7.5 plus 3/4 is equal to, if I'm correct, it's going to give me 1 1/4. So the total is 8 1/4. Okay, so the entire length of your trip was 8 1/4. Now let's say you didn't want to add it this way, you wanted to multiply. You could do 2 3/4 times 3, because there's 3 of them to get the total length. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 3 is 11, so 11/4 times 3, which is 33/4, which is also equal to, let me see, there's 8 groups, so 8 1/4, which is the same as I got from before. Okay, now the last question, number 14. Jada was using square stickers with a side length of 34 inches to decorate the spine of a photo album. The spine is 1,012 inches long. If she laid the stickers side by side without gaps or overlaps, how many stickers did she use to cover the length of the spine? Okay, in order to do that, so you want to divide these values. 34 goes into 101 about 2 times. 3 times would be too many. 34 times 2 is going to give us a product of 68. 101 minus 68 is 33. Bring down that 2. I'm going to say 34 times 9. Yeah, because then if I did times 10 is too big. Which is 306. 332 minus 306 is 26. Now, if I keep going, I'm going to end up with a decimal. So that tells me I'm going to need about 30 stickers to cover the length of the spine. Okay, that concludes our video series on rational numbers operations study guide solutions. I hope it helped. I hope you enjoyed.